What if I told you that I made over $6,000 in the month of January 2020 selling items on Amazon that I've never seen, touched, and don't even really know what I'm selling? If this sounds too good to be true, then you're in for a surprise, because this is Amazon dropshipping. If you're not familiar with the channel, my name is Ecom Tom, and I teach eBay and Amazon dropshipping here on YouTube. And if you are new to the channel, welcome back. Thank you very much. If you want to hear how I made over $6,000, this is $6,000 after everything, expenses, VAs, software, everything after fees. No matter what, it's $6,000 plus in profit, selling less than or around $50,000 in sales. If you like the sound of this video, please be sure to give a thumbs up. And when you do give it a thumbs up, also please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you can get videos like this in your inbox every single week. Before we get into it, be sure to check down in the description below if you want to get started with Amazon dropshipping here in 2020. Check out our free PDF on the top 5 reasons to get started. It's going to go a little bit more in depth than what we have inside of this video as well. So this video is going to be a breakdown of my profit, my sales, and exactly how I do it, and I'll see you guys inside of my computer. Alright, so here we are inside of the PowerPoint. Before we get started, like I said, please be sure to smash that like button if you haven't already, and also be sure to subscribe so you can see more videos like this coming out. I want to start doing monthly profit and loss things, or just mainly profits on Amazon and eBay, or at least more consistent than I have in the past. So I have a question for you all that I want you to answer down below. And have you started dropshipping on Amazon yet? I know a lot of people are scared to do so, scared to get started, think that it's this big scary beast, and in some cases it could be, but I want to know where you are, where you're at, what's holding you back if you haven't started yet, and if you have started, where are you right now? So let's get into the breakdown. Here's the picture of the sales that I had from the last that I already showed you inside of my account. So let's go to the overview. Like I said, there was 1,585 items ordered, and in that there was a total of 2,248. It was like 1.42 or something was the average. That means I usually have my inventory set to 10. So if somebody buys 5, if somebody buys 2, if somebody buys 3 of that item, then that's why that number is going to go up. So the average order cost is $31.62, and I know for eBay I'm usually preaching sell higher priced items. Sell higher priced items, it's less work, more money. But on Amazon, they really do reward the people that have a lot of sales velocity. I don't know if they're rewarding it on purpose, but it's more just the people that are selling a lot of items have less issues with negative feedbacks that they may receive, or A to Z claims, because you're able to bury those defects down below. Because if you do have an order defect rate, it's called, of above 1%, then you can get in trouble on Amazon. So that's one thing to avoid. If you sell a lot on Amazon, a lot of items, and you can avoid that. So the total canceled orders, I know a lot of people say that with drop shipping there's an issue with tracking the items, making sure your software is all set up, and if the orders, if the item goes out of stock, then you have to cancel it or whatever. I only had 5 canceled orders the entire month, which is much less than the percentage allowed on Amazon. All of those orders that were canceled were basically my fault. I listed items that couldn't be sent to California, and I knew that. I knew how to prevent that, and I didn't prevent that as well as I could have. So 5 of those items went to California, and then I just canceled those orders. There was only 1 negative profit order through the entire month. That's another issue or fallacy out there in the dropshipping world, that when you're selling these items, they change prices all the time, so that one might go down below. You've sold it for 80 bucks, and then the price drops or goes really high on your supplier's website. Then all of a sudden you're losing money. I only lost money on 1 order, and again, I think it was like in the cents or maybe $1. I'm not going to lose sleep over that, trust me. Even with some of the losses on eBay or Amazon, if I'm losing $10, as long as I'm saving my account and making sure it doesn't happen again, then I'm all okay with that, because it's all about the longevity. If I start canceling orders and stuff like nonstop, then out of 1,585 orders, only 5 were canceled, 1 was negative. That's a pretty damn good percentage here. So I'm not going to worry about it. But if you start doing more and more, then that's just going to leave you room for error, and also room for Amazon to step in and say, hey, what are you doing here? Why are you doing this? So the profit from the sales total was $7,684, and honestly, this number is definitely low because of the fact that I'm selling in a lot of my items in the business and industrial category, and that's a 12% final value fee. They take out 12% of what you sell. Say you sell an item for $1 or $100, they'll take out $12 as a final value fee. That's all calculated into this profit. But majority of the categories, almost every single category on Amazon, is 15%. So I don't really calculate for the 12% in the business and industrial, because not all my items are in that. But I would say about 75 to 80% 100% are. So this profit's definitely a lot higher, or at least probably in the 8,000s, because of the fact that I have 3 extra percentage points that I'm usually not calculating for here that are going inside of my pocket. So items listed, like I said, less than 750, and a lot of people say that that might be high, and honestly, I see dropshipping stores out there with 100,000 plus items on there, and it's not that hard to do. All you need to do is go find somebody else's store that has this many items up on it, and then just steal their items. As long as you know where they're getting it from, it's pretty easy. And Amazon really does facilitate like bulk uploading and the ability to really get a ton of items on your account as quickly as possible, as quickly as you want. I'm not saying start off doing this, because if you are a beginner, you don't want to bulk upload hundreds of thousands of items on your account. And like I said, I don't even have 1,000 items on my account, mainly because I just haven't added more on there. I definitely have a spreadsheet filled with probably like 2,500 items right now that I need to put on. But again, I'm slowly working on it. I have other business ventures. I have other things going on. And to be honest, over $6,000 final front end of the everything profit for me a month with my Amazon business is great, because I'm doing about the same on eBay, and then I can just add that together. I have all sorts of other incomes coming in, and I'm happy. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to break down the software that I use. This is every single software that I use except for one that I mentioned on the next slide because I forgot to put it in. And this is all you need. The software, a lot of people say the software is one of the most expensive things, but if you're making over $7,000 something profit front end and you have $300 in software that you have to take out of that, that is not a lot of money. That is not very expensive, and you need to realize that I'm sure not everyone's starting off from the same financial position, but you need to spend money in order to make money in some cases, and you need software to run your store on Amazon, or else you're going to be running into some deep waters there. So the first category of software here is stock software, stock keeping, stock monitoring. Basically, is it in stock or out of stock at your supplier's website, whatever your supplier is. So if it's in stock, then it keeps it in stock. If it's out of stock, it checks every hour to see if it goes out of stock, whether it's sold out, whether it got discontinued, anything like that. If it does go out of stock, then hopefully the software catches it, puts it out of stock, and you're good to go. Like I said, I only sold one item that was negative, and I think that was because of a price change. It's also monitoring the price as well. So it's monitoring the price and the stock, but it's not changing the price. There's another software that will be doing that that's under this. So Web Scraper app is one of the ones that I use. They have about 60 suppliers on their software. It's a little bit more on the expensive side, but I definitely really like it. It's the one that I've been using since the beginning, and it's $119 right now for the cheapest plan, and it's 30% off. I use the cheapest plan. It's 30% off if you use the coupon code down below. I have a coupon code for every software here. Yes, it is an affiliate link, but yes, you will be getting a deal if you do use it. You'll get 30% off for Web Scraper app, and that's only $83.30 a month. After that, it's SKUGrid, and I honestly, I ballparked an overestimate, I believe, on $40 a month for SKUGrid. I use the same SKUGrid account for my eBay and Amazon store, so it kind of gets mixed. I'm saying $40. There's an affiliate link down below to get like 20,000 extra credits as well. TrackerBot is, pretty self-explanatory. It's going to be tracking all your emails, going through your emails nonstop and checking to see if your supplier sends you an email that your item's been shipped. If it's been shipped, it takes the tracking out of the email and uploads it into Amazon for you automatically. Great program. I think I have the $25 a month plan. If anything else, it's lower than that. So that's where I'm at with that. Spot and paste. What you're doing with spot and paste is you're basically copying and pasting your buyer's name. So if somebody buys it, instead of having to do it one line at a time, like John Smith from Los Angeles, California, zip code, you just press copy. It embeds itself into your Amazon account, and you just press copy. It pulls it into its own little widget, and then you can program it to paste into any supplier that you're using. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 suppliers, you can program it that when you go to that supplier's website, you just click the little button, you go to the website, you find the item, then you put in their name, it's good to go. So it's not automatic. I would say it's semi-automatic, item ordering. So Informed.co is the repricing software. So Web Scraper app and SKUGrid are talking to Informed. They're sending it information about stock. They're sending it information about everything, about the price, and it's doing the repricing based off your competition on Amazon. This is the most expensive software, but definitely the most important one. I'm grandfathered into a $150 a month plan, but I believe right now there's a $99 and $199. So that's the priciest one, like I said, but it's definitely well worth it. You need it. And then this software right here is not 100% necessary. It's Monday.com. I use that instead of Google Sheets. I think that it helps with organization a lot more all my VAs are in there. It's $70 a month, not necessary, but it looks pretty, and it really gets the job done a lot easier than Google Sheets in some facets, but not all. So the total software cost was $383. So Manpower and Expenses. A lot of people are saying, Tom, how are you doing this all on your own? I'm not doing this all on my own. I'm not touching a single item. I'm not warehousing a single item. I'm not buying a single item before the item is actually purchased on Amazon from whoever my buyer is. And I'm also not doing the item sourcing. I'm not doing the customer service. I'm not doing the item ordering. I'm literally just telling people what to do. And that's not very many hours a week. I would say at most on Amazon, as long as nothing catastrophic is happening, like a software goes down or something like that. On Amazon, I'm checking my account at most maybe 15 minutes a day. I'm going in there, I'm moving things around, making sure everything's good, checking how many sales did I make. All right, looks good. Next day. That's it. I'm really not doing a lot of work here. And I'm going to tell you right now that you don't need that many people working on your store either. Like $50,000 a month does sound like a lot, 1,000 orders, but it's really not that much work. As long as you have other people working for you, usually foreign overseas workers for, a low price, then they're called virtual assistants, and you're going to be making a lot of money because of it, because they're over there working for their wages. You're leveraging just the difference between currencies across the world, and it's a great symbiotic relationship there. So my customer service rep, actually, I don't pay more than $100 a month for Amazon. She's not working full time for me at all, and she's working for my eBay and Amazon stores. And at most, I would say maybe it's $100 a month towards Amazon. At most, it's probably a lot less, like $50 a month, but I don't know how much time she spends between Amazon and eBay. But with customer service on Amazon, there is not a lot of customer service on Amazon. There's a lot more on eBay. They make it a lot easier for the customer to contact you. On Amazon, the customers don't even really know how to contact you, and it's very hard to get in contact with them, which is a blessing and a curse because there's less customer service. But when things really do hit the fan, it could be an issue. I have item purchasers. That's what I called them. You could call them whatever you want. They're the ones that are going to my supplier and buying it with my credit card. Yes, they do use my credit cards, but they have their own special accounts and stuff like that. One gets $280 a month. The other gets $300 a month. He also does the ordering for me on Amazon. After that, there's item sourcers. How are you going to sell items if you don't have items that you found? I do have one sourcing VA, and she's been working, for me for a long time, and I haven't even listed items on this account. Like the last time I listed items on this account was back in December, mid-December maybe, and before that it was in October. So right now it's February, it's Valentine's Day when I'm filming this, and I haven't put new items up on my store in forever, and my store is still doing between like 40,000-50,000, and if I wanted to, I could blow it up. But right now I'm at where I'm at, and I'm happy with it. So total labor cost is $920 a month. So add that into the software cost, I rounded up to $384 a month. That's $1,284 a month of expenses total for my business. So I never did the math here. I was going to do the math, I forgot. So basically, if we go back, it's $7,600 minus $1,200, let's just say. So it's about $6,500, $6,400 in profit in my pocket that month. I quit my job as a chemical engineer that I worked for 4 years in college to get that degree, and I was only making $5,000 a month out of college. So that's already above my engineering degree, and that's just one of my businesses. So you can see the power of this right now, where if I listed more, where if I had multiple other accounts, where if I had a bunch of other things like this, I'm making like 5-10x what I would as an engineer. And right now I'm doing just fine for myself. So techniques utilized. Now I want to talk about the techniques that we're doing right here. I can't go in depth on every single one, but I do want to talk about, how I'm going about doing this. So one of the softwares I forgot was Ace Inspector Pro. It's about $10 a month, so it's not going to affect the actual calculation here. But basically, I'm bulk sniping off of other stores. I'm finding other large stores that are in the niche that I want to sell, which is usually the business and industrial niche. I really like it. When you find big stores like that, you can pretty much, reverse Google image search, do all sorts of other just techniques out there that, I teach inside of my course and my other trainings and videos on YouTube. And once you get, a good person that you're sniping from, all you need to do is use Ace Inspector Pro, and you can go through at least 50 pages inside of their store, which is going to be close to around 1,000 items that you can snipe from them at a time. You can have your VAs going in there and doing this. All you have to do is teach them. Once you teach them, you put in the initial time and effort up front to teach them. As long as nothing changes too drastically, then they should be good and autonomous on their own, working as long as you've trained them properly. So all I'm doing is sending them into competitor stores. Usually I find some like a good list of competitors to start with, like 10, 20, and I kind of just give them to them. I say, hey, just like demolish this person's store. And then they go through and they just pillage his store, get whatever items out that are profitable from the supplier that I want to be using, and that's it. I've never listed an item to the marketplace. I've never taken a new item that's never been on Amazon and listed the ASIN and gone through all that effort. For me, it's just a futile effort. If I was going to do that, I'd get into private label or do something like, over the top where I'm making the listing but also making the product. I don't want to be the one that's going in there doing all this dirty work for somebody else just to hop on. I'd rather just be that person hopping on the listing, honestly. It's more time and cost effective. So I read something in a Facebook group the other day, and somebody said you don't use any of the obscure suppliers, only use Walmart onto whatever, or Home Depot onto whatever. And I think Walmart and Home Depot onto Amazon are absolutely terrible ideas. I did it myself, and it's definitely not worthwhile at all. But I've heard people in the Facebook group say, oh, obscure suppliers aren't going to have as good return policies or anything like that. And that's just not true. Or return policies or shipping times. Like, the supplier I found has legitimately, if not better, return policies than Walmart. And the shipping times are faster than Walmart by far. I can guarantee you that. So just please don't use Walmart as a supplier on Amazon for dropshipping. So help me God. I put so help me God in caps. Just please don't. You can go out of your way and find another one. There's 60 plus suppliers on WebScraper app. There's tons of people using WebScraper app saying, hey, I made this much money. Hey, I made this much money a month, that aren't using Walmart. Clearly they found a supplier. There's 60 of them. Just put in the time and the effort to do so. I have videos all over my account about it. And then also SKUGrid. There's over 400 US based suppliers there on SKUGrid. If you can't find a supplier out of 460, you're either blind or you're not putting in the work. So, do that and really just work it out that way. So what I try to do is I try to find what I think is a good supplier. Right here, find a good supplier, or what I think is a good supplier. After that, I test it out. Usually if I'm going to test out a supplier, I'm going to sell it on eBay first, but there has been times recently where I've just gone straight to Amazon. In the past, I've used eBay as the testing ground and then brought it onto Amazon. It's worked well. If it's good, sometimes that supplier sells on eBay and not on Amazon, so it really only makes sense to start on Amazon. If the supplier is good, do some test orders. Don't be like, oh, I'm going to list up 100,000 items, and the next thing you know, you sold a ton of items, and then all of a sudden, so they're not getting out on time, they're being lost or whatever, any type of issue that could possibly happen. Go slow at this game. After that, I just snipe others that are selling the items from that supplier. It's pretty easy to find them. You can find private label brands, which is a brand that basically only that supplier owns or has the right to sell. So if you see them selling it on Amazon, then you're gonna be like, hey, that's clearly somebody drop shipping it. And then I'm just gonna bulk list. On Amazon, they really facilitate the bulk listing very easily. I can put up a CSV file full of listings for 100, 200, 300 listings and get them all in my store within about 5 minutes. So after that, you bulk upload the CSV to whatever repricing and stock software you're using, WebScraper app or SKUGrid, and then you just rinse and repeat at that point in time. The whole thing here is that you need to have a system, and once you get the system in place, that system will run on its own for a while, as long as nothing drastic changes. So the key takeaways here, I know this has been a long-winded video. I'm gonna try to finish this up as quickly as possible, but I hope you found some great information or some help in this. This is a literal breakdown of my actual store. I could have scrolled through all the 1,585 sales if I wanted to, but that probably would have bored you a little bit, I would say. So you want to start slow with Amazon. This was built over time. This account's been running for like a year and a half now. And, when I first started selling, I was not selling anywhere close to this or making the profit that I was here. I think after everything, it comes out to about 13% front end margin, which it used to be a lot higher. And that does come into play with me not listing a lot of new items. If I'm listing some items, it's inevitable that items on Amazon will drop in price over time and your margins will get smaller. So if you're not listing new high margined items, then eventually your margins will get smaller over time. And I've definitely seen that. So I'm going to have to, step it up, light a little fire under my ass and get going on that. So you want to start slow. You can't just make millions of dollars overnight doing this. Outsource your work. If you're not outsourcing your work, you are the bottleneck of your business. Everybody talks about what's the bottleneck in your business. Is it this software? Is it this process? If you don't have any software or any processes, it's you. You are literally the bottleneck. What are you doing for 8 hours a day? I'm sure most people watching this have a 9-to-5 job or have some job of some sort, maybe kids, maybe something else, other responsibilities. I don't really have those responsibilities, but I do have a job, which is this. And if you have all these other things that you're doing every single day, and maybe you have a couple hours, 2-3 hours a night to work on your business to get it started right from the beginning, then you need to be making the most of those time. If you're sitting there and you're the one that's sourcing the items items after you've already learned how to source the items instead of learning something else or finding a better supplier and not outsourcing, then you are the bottleneck of your business. You are the issue, and you cannot do this all on your own. I would not be able to do this many sales, do everything else that I do, and still be sane. It would literally be impossible. So you need to reinvest your profits as much as possible. And this is if you don't have a lot of credit or a lot of money up front starting. You know, if you're making 10, 15, 20% margin on your sales and you're not reinvesting it so you can sell more on Amazon later on, you're pretty much just wasting your money at that point in time. You should be reinvesting your money into your business. It's the best way to grow it further. Yes, you know, just sacrifice a little bit in order to grow a bit. If you start making a lot of money dropshipping on Amazon, don't go out and buy a Gucci belt or something. Please don't. Like, I haven't done that yet, so you shouldn't either. Don't get greedy. A lot of people get greedy when they start listing. This really goes into start selling slow. There's no issue on Amazon with making sales. It's the issue is getting your account started, or keeping your account, I mean. If you're making a ton of sales and you don't really know what you're doing, then you're going to make mistakes, and that's when your account has a high risk of being banned. So with any platform that has people on there that you're allowed to be making tons of money on it, they're going to have strict rules on, you know, who should be making a lot of money and who shouldn't. And if you're out there just being greedy, being selfish, and really just not caring for the platform in general, they're going to pick up on it and they're going to ban you. It's as simple as that, and it makes sense in my opinion. So also ask for help. There's tons of free help out there. I have a YouTube channel that you should have subscribed for already if you haven't already. Check out the free PDF down below. So I hope you enjoyed this video. In conclusion, please post any questions down below about how I made whatever amount it was, $6,400 in profit in my pocket. You can check my bank account. I have it there in the month of January. So, you know, if you do that times 12 and I stay exactly where I am, if I do that times 12, that's $72K a year. As a business, I'm getting taxed less than I would as a job. That's already more than my entire engineering salary. At that point, you know, I have my eBay dropshipping business doing just as much in sales, a little bit less profit. And then from there, you know, I have all sorts of other streams of income. So if people think that they can't be making money online, you're literally lying to yourself. And this is a great opportunity to be getting into in 2020. That's where we are right now. So don't be afraid to ask any questions. You know, that's the only way you're going to learn. No questions is stupid questions. So just ask it down below. I answer every single question out there. If you found this video helpful, again, please be sure to subscribe. Please be sure to hit the like button and also subscribe. When you do subscribe, please hit that bell notification button. So I know this was a long-winded video. I'll leave you at that. If you have any questions, ask them down below. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.